My roots go deep in the town of Bristol and my home state of Maine. I have bookshelves and boxes filled with its stories. I keep telling myself I'm collecting memories for future generations. But unless we start sharing these stories while we're still here, the thing we're collecting most of all is dust. It was always such a treat to grab my dog Baxter, pick up my father, and take a ride for the afternoon. It seems every place we passed by would remind him of a story, although Dad said there were some memories that were best left forgotten. But over the years, with Baxter asleep in his lap, and on the familiar back roads of Bristol, bits and pieces of those stories would make their way to the surface.
At times I wished I could die and get it over with.
Yeah, well, late this afternoon. Get in the truck.
Well, try to get a leg in that first.
You sure doing better than earlier.
Well, you're going to have to get a haircut, big guy.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Baxter? You okay?
A big house up there. That's a big place. I'll be damned. Well, I guess you've shown me a place you've never been before.
Good place for turkeys.
Turkeys there, a bunch of them. You see them too, do you? Families. Young turkeys.
So where'd you go to boot camp?
Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh. You were stationed there too?
Oh, on a ship, yeah. They had a lot of ships out in the Narragansett Bay.
Oh.
Everybody graduated from there. Went on a ship. They had much as a dozen destroyers they anchored. Mickey Beals was on one.
Oh, he was?
On the destroyers. Number of his was 808, Demuckley. And I never even forgot that. Because mine was William Wood. First one I was on.
While crossing the wintry North Atlantic in 1952, Dad experienced a tragedy that would haunt him for the rest of his days. Sailing headfirst into a raging storm, chatter over the ship's radio spoke of many vessels in distress. The Queen Mary, a ship 3 times the size of my father's destroyer, also reported struggling in the heavy seas. At one point, Dad's ship rolled to her side a terrifying 58 degrees. Dishes in the galley came crashing to the floor. One of the lifeboats broke away from its rigging and was swept overboard. Dad, along with some of the other crew, were sent out to resecure the equipment. Looking up, he saw a large wave crash against the hull, where his best friend, Billy LaRue, was working. The wall of water cleared the deck of everything that wasn't tied down, Billy included. The gut-wrenching cry of "Man overboard!" rang throughout the ship as the engines backed down. Hanging over the railing, Dad looked down to see his buddy being pushed away by the wake of the ship's momentum. Desperately calling out for help, Billy's cries were gathered by the wind and thrown back to the sea. The crew could do nothing but watch helplessly as the ocean drew back, amassing itself into an angry fist. It exploded on top of Billy's head in a fury that no one could have survived. Heart-wrenching, yet merciful. When the wave was gone, so was Billy. Horrified, my father couldn't imagine what would be worse than watching your best friend wash overboard. He didn't have to wait long to discover the answer. Looking up, he saw the shock and disbelief on the sailor's face standing next to him. It was Raymond LaRue, Billy's brother.
I was in the town hall one day and I noticed a board leaning up against the wall, and it had a lot of names on it, and I kept wondering, what could that be? So I asked them that, and they said, well, it came from the Bristol monument that used to be beside the town hall in that grassy area with the rock wall and the steps. Somehow this plaque ended up at the Mavotion School in New Harbor where the veterans used to meet. And when the old schoolhouse was being torn down to make way for the new firehouse, Paul Yates found this in a burn pile, and he picked it up and saved it and took it home and put it in his barn for a while until he brought it to the town hall where it could be seen. As of right now, there is a plaque on the Bristol Common by the flagpole to the left of the town hall. It was placed there by the Village Improvement Society. The rock in which it was mounted came from the old Keystone Bridge on the Upper Round Pond Road, which Billy Benner picked up and saved. There's also a plaque in the Bristol School recognizing and listing all the graduates who served their country during World War I and World War II. And it's located in the lobby, entering the gym next to the concession stand. I brought it up at the town meeting and said that we needed a Veterans Memorial in Bristol. When I lost my husband in November 2017, we decided any donations made in his honor would go to the Veterans Memorial for Bristol. That's the beginning of my involvement wanting to create a Veterans Memorial for the town of Bristol.
Now you stand wherever you want me to talk towards. Right about there? You say when. Now is good. All right. Shall I introduce us?
You should.
Okay. I'm Andrea Cox. This is Sandra Lane. And this is a little bit of backstory on what we're doing here. I would say a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, this is my old bus driver from when I was very small. She stood up at town hall meeting and said something along the lines of, the town of Bristol doesn't have a veterans memorial, and I think that's a shame. And it took me, I thought at the time, I agree, but it took me a couple of years before I made that phone call, right?
Yes,
It was a couple of years, and I had been involved in some other veterans projects, and so I made the phone call, we sat down, we had a few people around the table, and a plan started to develop on how we would build a veterans memorial. And we thought that after some conversation, instead of having a stone or a memorial in a cemetery or a park someplace, that we had a real opportunity here. And that was to build something that the community could be involved in. And so where we ended up now is here at Ellenwood Park. We've got this beautiful spot where our information stand is, and all of this river frontage along here is that we would build what we're calling a Veterans Memorial Riverwalk. And so it would span the whole length from a parking area down over there, along the river, to the outlet on Benner Road. I think it's around 500 feet. And it would start off as a simple gravel path, but it was something that the community would be involved in and something that is growing. And what I mean by that is that it would start off as a simple path, but as time goes on, it would get bigger and better over the years, and as we got donations or people want to contribute something, and that's where the community piece comes in, is that anybody from our community, whether they want a memorial stone for a particular person that they want to donate with a plaque, they could do that. Or if it was somebody who wanted a bench that they could sit on and it would be in honor of Vietnam veterans, for example, they could do that. Or somebody who's just maybe wants to donate some trees or shrubs or even a garden of forget-me-nots or bleeding hearts, something like that. And that over time, this is something that the community can be involved in creating and something that would grow over the years. Because for as long as we have veterans, and we have new ones every day, we should be growing this, and it shouldn't be a one and done type thing. It should be something that grows throughout the years, and hopefully we maximize our space here and it grows further on that my kids can be involved with, and grandkids and
great-grandchildren.
in generations to come. And so that's the two pieces that we're really focusing on, is the growing portion, that it will grow over time and that the community is involved with it. And in addition to the community being involved in the building of it, we also envision that this is something that's going to reach a broader scope of people. That because of our unique location here by the information stand, that we're going to have tourists that stop and get information, and they may decide they want to walk their dog along the path. Or, you know, with this really cool island that we have back here that children would love to explore, that the people in the community, little kids, will come and bring their kids to play, and that hopefully it will ignite some conversations about, small children asking their parents, what is a veteran? Where is Vietnam? What is this all about? And it's something that, in addition to the community be involved, that hopefully there's an education piece as well. And I think that there's really an opportunity for, the local school children to come and help build this. Maybe they're going to plant a garden. Maybe they want to come over and do a field trip here. That is something that, in addition to getting everybody involved, we also have an opportunity to educate. And beyond the path itself and the memorial itself, one other thing that we're trying to do with the community piece is have events. And like a lot of different places on Veterans Day, which Veterans Day observed is Monday, we're offering a free breakfast and a free lunch to our veterans, but not only our veterans, we're offering it to the community as a whole, because we're not looking to isolate a group of people. What we're looking to do is what's the word? Expand and to incorporate and to bring the community as a whole together, whether we're very young and very old, or we're veterans or not. Gold Star families shouldn't be forgotten either. This is a place where everybody can come, and we're going to have a lunch and a breakfast, and everybody's going to come, and hopefully some conversations are going to happen. We've got some really cool stuff set up in there, and that's the piece of it that we're really looking forward to. Hopefully we'll do it every year on Veterans Day, and maybe we'll expand to Memorial Day. And
never know what we might do.
You never know what we might do.
Because I think it's a very important thing, and it really brings tears to my eyes to think that we are starting. Well, we wasn't started that long ago, but now we've got a lot of things. And we're here having this picture taken. And thank you for the community, and I guess that's all I can say.
No. Well, I think that's well said. It's important to you, it's important to me, and it's going to be important to a lot of people. And for the people who don't have veterans memorials in the forefront of their mind, this is going to be a place they can come and enjoy and start thinking about it. And it's a great way to honor our veterans, and a great, a way to educate as well.
Thank you,
Thank
Andrea.
you.
Absolutely. Oh.
All right, we good?